St. Julie Billiart is an important figure in Catholic education for young women. Along with Françoise de Bourdon, she founded the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur. Despite her health issues, St. Julie Billiart dedicated her life to spreading the teachings of Jesus and educating those who cannot afford it. Even when she was sick, she still taught Catholicism from her bed. St. Julie Billiart worked all her life to help those in need, and her legacy continues with the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur. St. Julie Billiart was born in 1751 in Quevilly in France. Her dedication to God began when she was a child. The parish priest allowed St. Julie to receive her first communion at the age of 9, when the normal age was 13. The priest saw something special in her because of her deep interest in her religion. However, when St. Julie was around 30 years old, she witnessed a murder attempt on her father. This traumatic experience caused damage to St. Julie's nervous system, forcing her to live in her bed for many years to come. Although she was sick, St. Julie continued spreading God's teachings by talking to people who gathered at her bedside. During the French Revolution, the revolutionaries often opposed people of the Catholic Church because the church had money. St. Julie offered shelter and refuge to Catholics who were trying to escape persecution. Because of this, St. Julie became a target. She had to escape multiple times from angry revolutionaries. Since she was paralyzed, her friends and followers had to help her escape. In 1794, St. Julie met Françoise de Bourdon, a Catholic noblewoman, for the first time. The first time they met, Françoise was repulsed by the state St. Julie was in. However, after some time, Françoise discovered the deep faith that St. Julie had, and she admired her for it. St. Julie had visions and dreams of spreading the work of the Sisters of Notre Dame all over the world. However, the local bishop of Amiens only wanted the sisters to stay local. St. Julie and Françoise couldn't agree with that, so in 1807 they moved the headquarters of the Sisters of Notre Dame to Namur in Belgium. The Bishop of Namur welcomed the sisters and supported their dreams to establish the community internationally. A friend of St. Julie's, Father Enfitin, had prayed for many days for St. Julie's health to be restored. On the 5th day, he visited St. Julie and asked her to stand up and walk. Until that day, St. Julie had been paralyzed and bedridden for 22 years. However, when Father Enfitin instructed her to walk, St. Julie slowly stood up and took several steps without any help. This miracle inspired many people to join St. Julie's group of sisters. With the help of God, the community of the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur expanded. In 1804, St. Julie and Françoise de Bourdon made their vows and started the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur. This community of sisters worked to provide Catholic education for poor girls. Later on, they also accepted wealthy girls so they could also get a good Catholic education. In January of 1816, St. Julie became very ill. The huge amount of work she was doing affected her health. She was again very sick and had to stay in bed. On April 8, 1816, St. Julie Billiart peacefully passed away at the age of 64. Despite the passing of St. Julie, the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur kept rapidly expanding. In 1840, a group of 8 sisters left for the United States and established a convent and school in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, the Sisters of Notre Dame have established many communities in many different continents, including Europe, North America, South America, Africa, and Asia. The symbol of St. Julie is the sunflower. St. Julie believed that our hearts and souls should always follow God. Just like how the sunflower always faces the sun, our hearts should find the Lord and face Him with love. St. Julie was beatified on May 13, 1906, and she was canonized by Pope John Paul VI and officially became a saint on June 22, 1969. Catholics celebrate St. Julie Billiart and her accomplishments every year on her feast day, April 8th.